Double D Teaches Pirate Ship, made by Bandai Namco and part of the Grand Ship Collection. Now, I don't know why they didn't call it the Saber of Zebek. Um, Bag number one with the stickers that will be going on the sails and the sails themselves and some body of the raft. Not a lot in there. And bag number two. There's only two bags in this one. That's interesting. Honestly, doesn't look like there's very much in here at all. That is fairly unusual for these. Usually there are three, maybe four piece sets. Um, the the scene here isn't very large at all. This one's a little unique. This is the sixth of these that I will be building, um, and it seems to be the most unique. I have been dreading doing another Emperor ship, as the last one I did was the Whitebeard ship, which I did not enjoy building. And before that, I had also done the Queen Mama Shanter for Big Mom, which was also awful. But seeing that there's only two sticker packs total, this one looks like there are cannons that are going to be tedious to put on, along with the flags. Uh, Realistically, the cannons aren't the worst thing ever. The stickers are my least favorite part. They tend to fall off, but this doesn't look so bad. The instruction booklet uh, might as well be lighter than air. There is not much to this. Actually, yeah, that's truly it. 15 instructions in total. I'm looking forward to this. This one will be fairly easy to complete. At least I hope. At least I hope. I could have better prepared with some scissors, but I try to avoid keeping sharp objects by these. The only sharp object that ever gets used are the clippers. I have two pairs. That one is my favorite. Really not a lot going on with this ship. This should be quick. Before this, and I may be counting my chickens before they hatch. Before this, the quickest ship I had built was the Arc Maxim. Apologies. Technical difficulty with the microphone. Looks like it will be a persistent issue, though I will refrain from uh, making a big deal out of it. Moving past this point. I would like to note that the larger pieces of the ship are already falling apart. And with that, we've already gotten a sizable chunk out of piece B. Unfortunately, I already have to add on the cannons to the stickers. That's gonna be fun. For those, I will implement the tweezers and the light. I love building these model kits, but I hate the stickers. I, moving forward, should look into seeing if there's a better glue for these model kits. I'm sure there are. Um, Something I should invest in. Some of my older models from a couple months back, the stickers are starting to peel. Now, it's not a big issue for the larger stickers, like that will go on the sales, but it is very prominent with the the smaller stickers, which is partially why I don't like the Emperor ships. The larger scale of these ships causes the miniature itself, the model, to be scaled down significantly, meaning detail stickers also have to be much smaller, which is nice in terms of the look of the overall build um, before the stickers start to peel, but it is an issue when you are wrapping thin little stickers around candy canes or railings. That's when they will peel and it will be quick. And I think creative solutions are needed for those problems, which I have not cared enough to get into because all they do is sit on a shelf. Although for the longevity of the builds, I will look into getting better glue or finding a better substitute, just some alternative so that these models don't need to be maintained as much post build because that is a bit of a headache. And I do worry that as time passes on, um, if a sticker falls off and gets like swept up or vacuumed up, then it's gone forever. Okay, first side done. Like I said, these cannons really aren't an issue. And I know I've just spent the past 2 or 3 minutes just complaining about the small scale stickers, but I think this is about as small as you can get before it'll start being an issue. Um, it's really about how thin the stickers are. These are relatively thick, so not not a terribly large issue. Flags, however, these smaller flags, wish that wasn't so reflective, uh, they do start to peel off as well, especially from the thin piece that wraps around the the mast. I'll show in detail later. Those start to peel first, and once those start to peel, it's really over. They do try and fix that by adding in these extra pieces that don't have that little sticky bit um, that they try and wrap around the pole. I just don't like the way it looks as much, truthfully. So I keep these. But that's my burden to bear. I choose to deal with the more difficult piece in that instance, and I pay the price. They do also usually for the smaller stickers that you will use a lot of. So maybe portholes on the larger ships or these cannon spaces. They might give you an extra 4 or 5, uh, which I mean I'm thankful for. But if all of your stickers fall off, that won't be enough. So any glue recommendations, I would happily accept um, before I look into it. I botched it. I implement the technique of pushing. When I want to get a sticker in just the right spot, I use my nail to kind of push it in place because it won't warp the sticker and it won't scratch the plastic. A soft tweezer, like a soft plastic tweezer, can be helpful for getting between the tight spaces on some of these builds or to like fix those sticker mistakes. I don't have soft plastic tweezers, so I have to use my nail. The metal tweezers here, while are very good for peeling the sticker off of the sticker sheet, it is not helpful for maintaining the look of the sticker because it I have scratched stickers before with the metal tweezers, so I avoid touching metal to plastic or to stickers at all costs. Although you do sometimes have to get a little creative. Here we go. That was really quick in terms of getting the large base down with a lot of stickers. It's very fast. Oh, okay. And the very next step is for the rest of the stickers, which which it looks like there won't be any more. All right. Really, not a whole lot going on with this. I just expected that this would be a lot more complicated of a build uh, than than what was being presented on the box, just because that has tended to be how this works out. But I'm very thankful to be wrong. Finish throwing these on, and the rest of this should just be a cakewalk, except for the most stressful part, which would of course be putting the sticker on the sail, as that never feels straight enough. That's a problem for future me. Hopefully, I'll be doing that in the next 15 minutes. Shoot. Man, I'm just botching these. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, the first stickers were so clean. Gone in. Terribly ruined this one. Well, really wish there were extras here. If I can salvage this. That just won't do. That just won't do. Heck yeah. Okay. We'll make sure to be way more careful. Much better. Right? That is one face done. And for the other one, okay. Here, let me fix my additional light. I do have a side light that I like to use for stickers. It is my girlfriend's reading light that I stole because it is exactly what I needed. Yeah, I like to have just a little extra lighting for placing these stickers, as I've noticed that my shadow tends to block them when I have an overhead light, so I needed something coming at it from the side, but also still over my hand to get the exact kind of lighting I need. And that has been very helpful for me in just being able to place these correctly. And I believe there's only one more, well, going to be 5 more stickers for the rest of the build. It still shouldn't be an issue. No, for the best part. And there we go. And that is perfect. Looks like these go on the inside. Very interesting. I don't follow. Oh, right. Okay, that explains it. I was looking for where to put these on this piece, um, when really I needed this piece. I'm just so not used to having to put the whole thing together this quick. Well, made that easy. I apologize if anyone worries about why I am not snipping the edges of the the model to get the little burrs or whatever you might call them. Um, and the truth is, I used to shave those off, but truthfully, um, I only will if they protrude too much. Otherwise, you won't be able to get rid of the mark it leaves on the plastic regardless, because it's always going to leave a lighter mark on the plastic. And so I've just come to terms with the fact that I won't be able to make it perfect. But that's okay, because usually with these models they don't stick out too much. Assuming there's not a particular way this needs to go on. Look at that. We have the base of Blackbeard's raft. 5, B8 and B9. Pretty easy. Go. Now for B6 and B7. Perfect. And I skipped a step. B6 and B7 to the side. What I should have done was start on the flag. Not the large cool flag, but the small annoying flag. Here comes the dilemma. To choose for this little flag whether or not to use these with the black background, but the annoying little strings that wrap around the flag, or to use the clear that don't have that problem. They are a little harder to align, and I don't like the way they look without the black background. It's not a true pirate flag without a solid base background. I was going to say a black background, but Big Mom's flag does not have a solid black background. I believe it is pink. So yes, right here. The little thin strips, those are going to eventually unstick to the pole. So even if I wrap them around now, nice and tight, uh, in some time they will unstick, and the bigger piece will stay in place, but those little strings, they will move, and I will be mad. But that's okay. That's part of the process. It's just something for me to fix with maybe some glue, other adhesive, whatever works. Maybe rubber cement, or whatever the most upvoted comment is on a Reddit thread. Those are usually very well tested. And here we have Blackbeard's flag with the three skulls. I won't be able to get that to focus on camera, and so I won't try. However, that's what it looks like, so I won't need to. Now to just stick it in place. Oh, that fits very loosely. I don't know how to feel about that. It just kind of slides in there. We'll see how that affects the build. Hmm. Either way, oh, that's why. The flag kind of clips into the post, and the little crow's nest kind of keeps it in place. It's a little more difficult than I'd like it to be in terms of getting it to stick. There we go. Now we have one solid piece, and we already have step 7 done. So I will move on straight to step 8. Which just requires this piece. It appears that piece will just slide in, and again. Now we have one solid post. It looks like this is the sail itself, and so I will be putting the sticker on, and it will be terrifying. And there it is. So it looks like it will just be centered on the middle sail, at least as centered as I can make it. I do have a ruler for this, but more often than not, the ruler isn't required. It's just kind of helpful for figuring out uh, where an item can go if there isn't anything really distinct on the plastic itself that you're trying to stick the sticker on. So it's by no means required, and especially for this model, we do actually have uh, a line right at the center. It looks like. Depending on the size of the sticker, sometimes I like to bend it so that the extra bits don't interfere with what I'm trying to use as, to align it to keep it straight. Got it right where I want it to straighten it out. Like it is a little crooked. Yeah, the top sticker, the top bone is what I'm trying to use as my center. It's so flimsy, and everything else is trying its best to interfere. That getting it to be straight is challenging. Overcompensated. Grossly overcompensated. It can take a couple tries to get these stickers on, and that definitely doesn't help with the glue situation because every time you reset it, the glue gets a little weaker. And right there, the whole piece came off. That looks good though. Yes, that is very straight. I'm content with that. Try to make sure it's all stuck down and that I've gotten rid of any wrinkling. Uh, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm content with that. I won't mess with it anymore. And now just to stick it on where it needs to be. Getting these sails on can always be hit or miss because sometimes they can be really flimsy, or the piece you're trying to stick them onto could be flimsy, and it may require a little bit more force than you'd feel comfortable with. Um, but that time it wasn't bad at all. Moving on to step 10, and that is 10 of 15, and really 14 and 15 are the steps that demonstrate how to display it. Sometimes I shouldn't say sometimes, usually there's about two or three different ways you can display it, which I can get into with other videos. But it won't be in really an issue at all here. It looks like there's only really two ways to display it. Uh, one of the ways will require an additional piece that doesn't come included to stand the model. I don't like the way that looks, so I don't get it. um, and it looks like the display piece that it has with it in the water. I can show that off. I'm not a fan of the water display. I like to see the whole ship, and you don't really get that with what we'll be doing later. I'll show you. So I may have to choose happy medium. And it looks like this centerpiece right in the trash. Okay, for this we will just be sticking on the pieces to the top of the sail. Uh, in my experience, these are never straight, and there's no way around that. The plastic on these is just a little too flimsy, so even if you stick it into the spot it goes really well, any any deformation in the molding process, or just maybe with how you keep the pieces, it's liable to bend. So really, I don't think there's anything you can do about that. These models are fairly cheap though, for what they are, and so I don't I don't hold it against the manufacturer too bad. 1 and B3. Moving on to step 11, where it looks like we're going to be finishing our small flags. I will have to sticker that. We will be done with all of the stickers for the set, and we will be almost completely done with the set. This is the last piece of section B. I don't know what they actually call the plastic molding that keeps these in place. I don't know what that's called. Uh, if it says right there, I can't read it. I don't speak Japanese. And yes, these instructions are in Japanese, as with most of these model kits. But everything is numbered and the pictures are clear. So if you're trying to get into the hobby, don't let that frighten you. The instructions are very simple to follow. I just don't bother with showing them because the camera won't be able to focus on it very well. So I avoid it. Now, to finish off the step, I will be placing on the stickers, and we will be just about done with Blackbeard's pirate ship, as as the box calls it. I don't know if the official name came out when it was produced, or if it had not, or if it was just in Viver card, or what the deal is. I'm not entirely sure. But what I do know is that the ship is named, and that is not displayed on the box, which is fine. This is still Blackbeard's pirate ship. No. Oh, that's awful. The sticky side fell down. Oh, tweezers, please. Oh, this is a first. Salvaged it. That has never happened. Actually, I think a couple months ago, but before I decided to record the process and talk about these, uh, while I was building my first model I built was the Going Merry, because that one was the cheapest, and I figured if I ruined it, it wouldn't be that huge of a loss. And I pretty sure while trying to get the large sticker out for the mainsail, I'm pretty sure I dropped it and stuck it completely to the table. And that was terrifying. But I'm not sure if I can't remember at this point if it fully stuck to the table or if just a large piece of it did. That is just a ginormous sticker. I think it's the largest one out of all the sets I've encountered. That is it for A, and we are completely done with clipping plastic. Now all that's left is to assemble the last of this. So the piece from step 11 with my new piece for step 12 will be placed together very carefully. Okay. And all that's left is the complete assembly of our three parts, which is the easiest part usually. With the larger ships, when you have to place in uh, the sails, like Big Mom's or Whitebeard's ship, the getting the masts into the hole can be really difficult because trying to push it in without having much clearance because of the other large sails and just how kind of compact everything has to be, you can really uh, probably break the mast if you're not being very careful. And for me, it looks like the mast is in, but the like I said, the side pieces here, trying to get them into the hole is a bit of a challenge because of they're just ever so slightly not straight. Uh, just about got it all the way in. Just requires a little extra force without being too heavy-handed. But there we have it. That is the completed ship. And yes, nothing goes on the yellow sail. It's just the mainsail. All that's left is to put it in the water, which I will show. This is how they intend for it to be displayed, but I won't personally be displaying it with the water. So the the ship, they don't have you display the ship within the water like this. It doesn't quite go in all the way. What they intend for you to do is to remove, and this is how they are with all of the ships if you want to place them in the water. They have you remove the bottom half. Oh, goodness gracious. Have you remove it, which I absolutely stressful. This one is in tight. Um, I don't think I'll be removing it. But they'll have you remove the bottom piece right where that line is, and the ship will sit squarely inside of here, just so it looks like it's partially submerged under the water. Um, I will show the instruction. That is the intent, which I don't think it looks very great. And that is the extra piece that does not come with the set. If you wanted to display it raised, you would be able to do that. and that piece would just connect at the bottom. You could display it however you wanted to. I will not be doing that. It will go on my shelf. That is all.